Expect the ball, expect the score.
Welcome, Cartan Field, and this afternoon's class between 3-0 Terra Tigers and your 3-0 Menlo Knights. Terra is coached by Jason Piccolotti and assisted by Ryan Gordon, James Cable, Daniel Porter, Leo Fabiano Wyatt,
Dominic Vargas, Tom Piccolotti, Tim Faita, Dave Martinez, and Lizardo Espino. Menlo is coached by Todd Smith and assisted by Austin Curtis Samuels, Mike McAdams, Nick Lysette, Dominique Cole, Peter Zappis, and Giovanni Stanley. Today's officials are Mike King, Craig Gruber, Brandon Nagy, John Maltabano, and Jeffrey Heyer. Now, will you please rise, if you are able, and remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem by Menlo's own Javier Toscano.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Menlo School and Terra Nova High School in the Central Coast section require good sportsmanship and positive behavior of student athletes, cheerleaders, band members, coaches, and spectators. request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. Please be mindful of your language and actions at all times and treat others with dignity and respect. Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions, especially concerning race, gender, or ethnicity, directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other spectators will not be tolerated and are grounds for immediate removal from the school premises and future events. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe, inclusive, and positive game environment.
Menlo's offense coming on the field. They are led by Sergio Beltran. Beltran is off to a blazing fast start this season. He has more touchdown passes than incomplete passes. Menlo lined up 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Geisler in the backfield. That's Ben Benatau, wide to the left and right to the right, with Carter Jug and Court Halsey. Beltran back to pass, throw, and that's complete to Enright. That's a gain of about 8 yards.
Robbie Enright with the reception.
Nice.
Just short of the first down.
Offense. 2nd down and about 1 yard. Trips left. Terra with 4-4-3 defense. Shotgun snap. Beltran keeps it. Bumps outside, and he's sneaks, and he should be enough for a first down.
Beltran with the keeper, right at the mark.
And pending the spot, that looks like
First down, Knights.
First down, Menlo. 1st and 10, Menlo. Knights with their no-huddle offense continue. Both schools off to great starts this season. Beltran sprint left, looking, throws, he's got Jung, and that's just outside, incomplete pass. Bring up 2nd and 10, a rare incompletion for Sergio Beltran. Menlo 3-0, coming off decisive victories against Sequoia, the Kings Academy, and last week versus Mission. Beltran, 2 men in the backfield. Fakes to Geisler, sets up the screen, and that is caught, and just outside through the hands of Jack Geisler. So that brings up now 3rd down and 10 yards to go for the Menlo. They're at the 47-yard line. We have an officials timeout. For the Knights today, they'll have Noah Kornfeld and Ralston Raphael at tackles. Inside Aiden Hausenbold, Aiden Zhao at center. Receivers John Enright, Panatau, Jack Geisler in the backfield. And the referees trying to figure out, there is a flag on the field. going on here. Menlo and Terra Nova have a long history together. They met several years ago in a decisive victory for Terra Nova. Oh, and it looks like the Knights will be called for an illegal man downfield.
Illegal man downfield on
Terra Nova
Menlo.
has chosen to accept that penalty. So instead of 3rd and 10, it'll be a 2nd and 15. Interesting decision by Terra Nova, as this Menlo Knights offense is extremely potent. We'll see if giving them that extra down comes back to bite them. Oh, it looks like there's some more discussion now going on between Terra Nova's coaching staff and the referees. Terra Nova has changed their defense now. They're in a quarters coverage. They got 2 safeties, 2 corners. Cloudy afternoon here in Atherton. Cool day, nice little breeze going. Perfect day for football. And again, the referees are trying to figure things out. Another flag just went on the field.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Tigers.
And I don't know what happened. They might have got the Terra Nova sideline for something. But whatever happened, that's a 15-yard penalty that's going to result in a 1st down. So after a lot of confusion, the Knights will get the ball 1st and 10.
1st down Knights.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Beltran looking, he's running, he's got some space. We got a flag in the backfield, and Beltran's 8-yard run to the sideline pending the penalty. That's usually flags thrown in an area which generally indicates holding, and that's what the call is.
Holding on
Knights
the
have been stung by holding penalties all season long. See if they were going to clean that up this week, but they're not off to a good start in that regard. So Menlo, that's a spot foul, will be backed up 10 yards, and they're looking at a 1st and long now at their own 40-yard line. That's a 2-by-2. Beltran in the shotgun. Two receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Nova back into a 4-3 cover 4. That's a quick pass to Halsey, complete. Halsey makes a move inside, and still on his feet. And Court Halsey fighting for a 7-yard gain.
Court Halsey with the extra effort for the Knights.
Knights have 3 receivers stacked to the right, 2nd and long. Knights looking to the sideline, and their Menlo offensive coordinator, Austin Carter-Samuels, relays the plays in. Shotgun snap, Beltran, he's got all day. He's got Geisler wide open in the flats, and Geisler makes 1 man miss. Oh, and he gets hit, and the ball comes out, and it looks like Terra Nova's got the ball. Nice play by the Terra Nova cornerback to come in, put his helmet right on the football, and Terra Nova there to jump on it immediately. So the game's first turnover after 3 minutes into the first quarter goes to Terra Nova, and they will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Terra Nova led by
That fumble was forced by number 3, Corey O'Brien.
Quarterback.
Terra Nova ball, 1st down.
2-by-2 spread. Knights cornerbacks are pressed up. 1st and 10, Terra Nova shotgun. And that's a handoff to number 5, who gets outside and met by several Menlo Knights, including Carter Jung, for a gain of about 3. Bring up 2nd and 7 yards to go. This will be the final non-league game for both Menlo and Terra Nova. Teams will have byes next week before they start their league game. Menlo in the ocean, Terra Nova in the bay. Tigers coming out again in a 2-by-2 formation. Snap to Gordon. Steps back, throws over the middle, and that is caught by number 1, who's met immediately by Griffin Perks, but that's a big game for Terra Nova. They're in Menlo Knights territory. That'll be 1st and 10.
That Bendo with the reception for the Tigers. First down.
Clock begins to wind, and there's 8:08 left to go in the first. Terra Nova, they've come out all 3 times in a 2-by-2 formation, spreading the field. Gordon hands it off. Number 5, there's a swarm of Knights, including Ralston Raphael, Court Halsey, and Aiden Hausenbold. That'll be a loss of 1.
Miles Palmer on the carry, met by a host of Knights.
Knights' defensive front has been outstanding all season long. So Terra Nova now in the 2nd and 12. Menlo back in their secondary is Griff Perks and Rob Enright at the safeties, Jack Geisler, and Ben Bonatow at the corners. Gordon from the gun, pulls it back. He's got some room, gets outside, and he's getting run down by Enright after a gain for about 4 yards. Really good job by Bob Enright from his safety position. Close ground and keep that to a minimal gain. So Terra Nova now facing a 3rd and 7 from their own 35-yard line. This is 4-down territory. We'll see how they choose to attack this third down play. Check that. It'll be 3rd and 11. The quarterback stepped out earlier than initially anticipated. So again, Terra Nova in a 2-by-2, 3rd and long. Gordon out of shotgun. Drop back, looking, throws over the middle, and that's a beautiful catch by number 2. In between several Menlo Knights. And the wideout is Tuiasa Sopo. He's had a couple of big catches so far for Terra Nova on this drive. So Terra Nova moving after recovering a fumble. They have now marched into Menlo territory. They're at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Tuiasa Sopo out wide. Again, they're staying in that 2-by-2 formation. Gordon out of the shotgun. There's a snap, 1-2 steps, looking, throws a deep ball, and that was beautiful coverage by Ben Bonatow. You see Bonatow, he's rolled up and he's able to press Tuiasa Sopo off the ball. Tuiasa never got a good release. They were going to him the whole way, but really good job by Ben Bonatow. A couple programs who've known for their passing attacks coming out and airing it out early. So 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line. Gordon out of gun, rolling right, stepping. He's got some room. He tucks, and he gets outside. He has some room. He might go. And that's a touchdown for Terra Nova. So the Tigers get on the field early. And the Menlo Knights find themselves in a position in which they haven't been all season, and that is they are trailing in a football game. It is 6-0 pending the extra point. Terra Nova lining up for the PAT. Snap is good. Kick is up and no good. We'll see how that plays into the game later as this game unwinds, but Terra Nova scores on a Gordon touchdown run. That was a 61-yard drive done in about 2.5 minutes. So 5:54 left in the first quarter. Terra Nova is up 6-0.
As a reminder, folks, masks are required while attending a football game. Thank you for helping keep our community.
These two schools are in separate divisions. However, they did meet early in the year for the scrimmage game. It was a very competitive and spirited battle amongst Terra, Menlo, and Cappuccino was also there. So the Knights will now get the ball for the second time this afternoon. Terra and their kickoff team lines up. For the Knights again, it's Ty Richardson, number 3, back deep alongside Jack Geisler. Up waiting at the 25-yard line is Willis Johnson. Willis Johnson, a sophomore, recently called up to the varsity. Next to him is Bob Enright. Bob Enright, you rarely see that kid take a break. He's on the field all the time. It's a high, shallow kick will be taken by Geisler around the 15. He gets outside, and he's got a little room. He's still on his feet, and Geisler will be out at about the 30-yard line. So Menlo's offense and Sergio Beltran coming out for their second possession of the day.
First down, Knights.
First and 10, Menlo. Beltran, he'll be protected by Kornfeld, Max Kinder, Hausenbold, Aiden Zhao, and Ralston Raphael. Knights in a 2x2. Carter Jung, Ben Benatau to the left, to the right to Court Halsey and Bob Enright. Jack Geisler in the backfield. Snap, and oh, it looks like a little miscommunication. Center did not snap the ball in time. Everyone moved except the center. So a procedure penalty will push the Knights back 5 yards. Both Terra and Menlo had a lot of success, and they've been doing it with low numbers, about 25 kids on rosters for both teams. 2 guys in the backfield, Halsey and Geisler. It looks like that's an option, quick pitch, and Terra Nova's right there. Geisler, great job bouncing off the first tackler to get some of it back. And the Knights now face a 2nd and 15. Knights hurry up. Back now, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Beltran sprint right, sprinting. He's going to tuck it, run, and push out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. We'll see where they spot that. It's like the 31, and now it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. So Menlo in their first 3 weeks rarely faced a 3rd down, if at all. And now this will be their 2nd, 3rd and long in the early in the first quarter. So 3rd and long, they got 3 receivers to the left. Beltran looking left, looking. Here comes Brush. Beltran tucks it. See if he can get out the side of the corner. He makes 1-man miss, 2-man miss, and really good job by Sergio Beltran to take what was nothing and turn that into an 11-yard run, enough for a first down. Just that Terra Nova defense, that's got to be frustrating because they were in position. They did a phenomenal job in their pass defense. And Beltran just made several men miss, and able to convert using his legs on a 3rd and long. Snap to Beltran, 1st and 10. He's got all day. Floats it over the middle. It'll be just off the fingertips of Jack Geisler. That'll be 2nd down and 10. Knights continuing with their no huddle. Checking into the game is Ty Richardson. He'll go into single back, give Geisler a breather. Terra Nova, there's some pressure up the middle. Beltran stepping up. He's got a man open, and oh, that'll be intercepted by number 16. He's got some room down the sideline and tackled by Bob Enright. So Menlo, 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. That will let Terra Nova have great starting field position inside in their own territory, Menlo territory. Will start 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. So Menlo's defense is now back on the field. There's Terra Nova and Gordon with a 6-0 lead. 3:46 in the first quarter. 2x2. Gordon scanning the field. Shotgun. Couple steps back, looking. He's got all day. Now he's firing over the middle, and that is picked off right back. Knights take it right back. Ben Bonatau. Beautiful play by Ben Bonatau to stay home. Gordon had all day to throw. Really good protection. Was able to set his feet.
First down, Knights.
The ball that was intended for the wideout. And so, the two teams that have been outstanding in protecting the football, marching down the field, that's the third turnover out of the first 4 possessions. So Menlo starting now 1st and 10. That'll be at their 20-yard line. Ty Richardson in the backfield. We got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Beltran. Gun, he pulls it back, keeps it, goes up the middle. He's able to plow ahead for about 2 yards. 2nd and 8. And the Knights in their no huddle. Looking, they got Terra. Looks to be in a cover 3. They have about 6 guys on the line. Now they're in a man. Somebody's flow, and that's following Court Halsey over the middle, and that ball just outside of Halsey's reach. Brings up a 3rd and 7. So the Knights, with their third and long of the day, last time they were in this position, resulted in an interception. You see Menlo, who's not used to these type of situations, 3rd and long. Beltran looking to the sidelines. Terra Nova defense is playing a very strong first quarter. Beltran looking back, looking. He has time. He's going to run. And there's several Terra Nova defenders there. That's a gain of about 1. This is going to be 4th and about 7. Deep in at the 26-yard line. We'll see what Menlo decides to do. And here comes Menlo's punting unit. So the Knights are going to, you're going to see a rare punt from the Menlo Knights. But before that, Terra Nova has called a timeout. They're going to talk things over.
Timeout, Terra Nova.
2:30 left in the first quarter. Terra Nova 6, Menlo nothing.
Menlo students, that includes you.
A really good defensive performance by both teams. Some very athletic interceptions. And the Knights offense in the first quarter struggling to find a rhythm. But that's something I'm sure they've shown enough in the first 3 games where they are explosive, they can score at any point on the field. I don't think they're too concerned at this point of the game. But these schools have a history of very outstanding, successful quarterbacks. There was a game between Menlo and Terra Nova about 10 years ago. Menlo's quarterback, Jack Hennigan, went on to play football at Dartmouth and then a training camp with the 49ers. Terra Nova had a quarterback named Anthony Gordon, who went on to lead the NC2A passing at Washington State and went to a training camp in Kansas City for the Chiefs. So here we are 10 years later, and these two teams, another Gordon, who's a very talented player, and another extremely talented Menlo quarterback crew out here, so we should see some fireworks today. That's Ross Muchnick back deep to punt. Muchnick is bobbles the snap, picks it up. There was no rush, and it's under pressure. That's a short kick, and Terra Nova will again start in excellent field position. Muchnick, one of the top junior kickers in the country, had trouble with that snap, and I think he felt a little pressured and wasn't able to get his feet set and drive that ball. So that's going to result in Terra Nova 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Menlo defense back at it. We have Banatow and Jack Geisler at corners. Perks and right at the safeties. In the backers, it's Tyler Flynn, Aiden Housenbold, Sam Scola. Out of the shotgun. Handoff up the middle, and immediately met by a swarm of Menlo Knights after a gain of about 4 yards. So the Menlo D, we have Noah Kornfeld, Court Halsey, Ralston Raphael, and Max Kinder, defensive line. They've done an outstanding job all season long. Second and a long 6 for Gordon. Terra Nova, every formation has been this same formation, 2-by-2. Cornerbacks are bailing here for second and 6. And that's a quick throw to the out, and Banatel right there. It's a really good job by Ben Banatel. So he bails, it looks like he's going to be at the snap of the ball, he kind of sits right there. Big play. This looks like 4-down territory for Terra Nova. 3rd down, long 6 at the Knights' 34-yard line. Again, Terra Nova in that 2-by-2 formation, corners rolled up. Motion, and settling is number 1. And Terra Nova runs the ball, and that's, the Knights are right there for maybe a gain of
Palmer with a short gain.
2 yards, which leaves now 4th and 5.
4th down and 5.
We expect Terra Nova to go for this based on this being at the 32-yard line. Gordon over to the sidelines, getting the play call. Terra Nova's got good size up front. That's going to be a great battle watching all day. Terra Nova's offensive line against Menlo's fierce defensive front. So Gordon again into 2-by-2 formation out of shotgun. Big play, 4th down. Snap to Gordon. He's looking. He's going deep, and that ball is going to be overthrown, and that'll be a turnover on downs. So the Knights defense holds. And here comes the offense. They'll be taken over at about the 33-yard line.
1st down Knights.
And Menlo, whose offense has struggled to get in a little rhythm this first quarter, will have another shot. 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Terra Nova up 6-0. Knights coming out, 3 receivers to the left. Halsey, Jung, and Enright. Bonat's out to the right. Jake Bianchi in at quarterback. And that's a quick snap. Bianchi, 3 steps, looking. Here comes a rush. He's going to throw off his back foot. Oh, and that is dropped by Ben Bonata.
Bianchi's pass.
So Bianchi had all day. Found the open man. Good pass in the usually sure-handed Ben Bonata. Couldn't hang on to that. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10, Knights. So Bianchi getting the series. After the Knights struggled on their first 3, we'll see how the Knights respond. We got 2 guys in the backfield. Bianchi drops it back, a couple steps, he fires to the out, and that'll be, again, off the fingertips. That's a good pass by Bianchi. Knights Carter Jung couldn't handle that pass. So 3rd and 10. Again, 3rd and long, and we'll see what the Knights do here. Bianchi, who's been backing up Beltran for the first 3 games and seen plenty of action in the second half of all 3 games, has been outstanding this year, completing about 80% of his passes. Here goes Bianchi, rolling left, rolling, still has time, rolling, tucks it, and Terra Nova coming up. Outstanding coverage by the Terra Nova defense. So that is a quick 21-second drive. That's going to be 4th and 10. That'll end the first quarter, and Menlo will start the second quarter in what we assume will be punt formation. So for the first time all season, Menlo's facing a little adversity. Their offense is struggling to move the football. They've had a couple turnovers, and now we've had a couple 3-and-outs. We've seen them with penalties, a couple of drop passes. Terra Nova, on the other hand, is playing outstanding defensive football. It's turning in. Who would have figured this would be a defensive battle between two of the top throwing teams in the entire CCS? So Menlo gets 1 quarter into the game. This is the first quarter in which they've been shut out all season. So they will start the second quarter in punt formation. Again, Muchnick back deep. Last time out, Muchnick had a little trouble with the snap. He's going to be protected by Enright, Aiden Hausenbold. Outside for Menlo is going to have Ty Richardson. And then at the top of the screen is Geisler, and that's a great punt by Muchnick, which takes a Terra Nova bounce, rolls out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. So Terra Nova will take over with a 6-0 lead. 11:53 left in the first half. It has been a defensive struggle. Nobody saw that coming. Still plenty of football left to play as the Knights getting set defensively. Banatao and Geisler have done a great job on the outside today. They're the corners with Perks, Bob Enright safety, Scola, Flynn, Hausenbold linebackers. And again, it'll be Cornfield, Halsey, Aiden Zhao, and Roste Raphael up front. Gordon out of the shotgun. Same 2x2 formation. We see a little motion. That's be an end around to number 1, Tuiasopo, and that's well defended, but Tuiasopo makes a few men miss, and he's able to turn that into about a 6-yard play. And the Knights got an injured player on the field. So that'll leave a 2nd and 4 for Terra Nova. Terra Nova's been pretty balanced today with their running and passing game. Menlo's gone primarily to the air, and they've had a little difficulty finding a rhythm, but expect that to change. They have shown enough in the first 3 games of the season that this is an offensive team that can absolutely explode. And so, nice injured player coming off to a nice round of applause, walking off on his own will. Looks like it's Noah Cornfeld. He should be fine. Cornfeld, 3-year varsity player. Senior, very talented, about 6'5", 250 pounds, moves well. He's also a basketball player and respected by all his peers and known as being one of the smarter kids in the school. So Cornfeld will take a few plays off. He's smiling, looks like he'll be good to go. And Terra Nova's back at it. Clock starts, 2nd down and 3, Gordon. In shotgun, a motion again, and this time they go up the middle, and the Knights defense has been there all day. That's Raphael. They're so good in the interior.
Palmer, it immediately brings up 3rd down.
It's Raphael and Court Halsey. Both of them are juniors, and also Aiden Zhao on the line is also a junior. So the Knights dominating up front on the defensive line, and these are all underclassmen. So this will be a scary team next year. We also have Avery Romaine, a junior, on that defensive line. Here we go, big play, 3rd and 5. Terra Nova and Gordon in the shotgun. Cornerbacks rolled up. Gordon scanned the field, 2 steps back, quick throw, and they'll have enough for a 1st down. Tuiasopo, he's been the go-to receiver for Gordon today. And so Terra Nova able to convert on a 3rd and short. And that'll result in a 1st and 10, 47-yard line. So looking at this Knights defense, they've been playing outstanding football, and they're doing it with a lot of juniors. Enright, also a junior. The seniors out there, Perks, Banatao, Flynn, Geisler, and Hausenbold, and Sam Skoll. Gordon out of the gun. There's a snap, play action, rolling to his left, throwing across his body, and that is caught by Tuiasopo. That's just really good football right there. It's great defense, 2 Knights in the area, and Gordon just dropped it in between the 2 defenders, and it was a very outstanding athletic catch. And so Terra Nova moving 1st and 10, they are inside Knights territory. Clock running, 10:38 left in the first half. Terra with the lead 6-0 and driving. Still in that 2x2 package. Gordon in the shotgun. Menlo in a 4-3. Motion back, there's a handoff and cutting up field and net. A bunch of Menlo Knights there for a short gain. There's really good run defense today by Menlo. And you know what, their pass defense has been great too. They've been in the right spots. They got an interception, just a couple of really outstanding throws and catches by Terra has been what's the difference of the game. Menlo's defenses, they're exactly where they need to be. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 at the 41-yard line. Both these schools with the low rosters, they have guys playing on both sides of the ball, so fatigue might play a factor in the game as we get closer to the 4th quarter. Gordon out of the shotgun. Takes a snap, stop, quick pass, and really good job on, one-man miss. And then run down by number 51. That is Max Kinder. Max Kinder coming from the defensive line, a really good pursuit. But the Knights defended that well. Again, Terra all their yardage is coming off some good moves after the catch, or just some really high-level throwing catches. Quarterback and receiver. So again, it looks like Terra might be in that 4-down territory. It's 3rd and 6 at the 39-yard line. Menlo defense has been playing a great first half. Here we go. Fans are starting to get loud. It's 3rd and 6. Gordon in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Quick throw. He's got a quick screen that'll be caught. And that'll be tackled short of the 1st down. So we were looking at a 4th and about 3.
Bring up 4th down for the Tigers.
And I expect Terra to go for it at the 35-yard line. Ball in the middle of the field, and looks like there's the quarterback's coming off the field, and so on 4th and 3 at the 35, Terra is trusting its defense. So the punt team comes on. Interesting situation considering that the Terra offense has been doing a good job in the passing situation. So there's a snap, and it's a quick kick, angled, and that's a really good punt that's going to roll inside the 10-yard line. So the punt pays off for Terra Menlo's offense will be back out on the field in the first drive of the 2nd quarter. There's 7:50 left in the half. Menlo will have 1st and 10 inside their own 10-yard line. So Menlo's offense is going to try to find a rhythm. They've had a difficult job getting their open receivers. Whereas in the first 3 games, it seemed like every play there would be nobody within 5 or 6 yards of a receiver at any given time. Today, it seems like Terra defense is all over the field. So jogging back out, we'll see. We got Sergio Beltran will be back on the field. Beltran sat out the last series. Bianchi came in. Both Bianchi and Beltran have done a phenomenal job of this offense. So here they go, the Knights, and that's Beltran. He's going off tackle, keeps it himself, and he's got 8 yards there.
And with the keeper, close to a 1st down.
Beltran has just been doing
first down
all season long.
1st down,
Check
Knights.
that, that's a 1st down. That was a 10-yard gain for Beltran. He's been doing it all season long, both his arm and his legs. Knights, 3 receivers to Beltran's left. 3 to his right, 1 to the left. Tyrich is in single back. It's a 4-man rush. Beltran sprint right, looking. There's nobody there, and Terra was all over. Push Beltran out. But that's not until after a gain of about 5 yards. So even when things look bottled up and there's nowhere to go, Sergio Beltran's able to turn that into 4 or 5. We've seen 10-yard gains here. And that was Kornfeld, who we saw him hobble off earlier. He's back in the game, and he's going to take another rest. Replacing him on the line, we'll have Trey Lawson, number 75 to G. So the Knights getting set. That's also, it's a young offensive line. 2-by-2, Beltran out of shotgun. Couple steps back, looking, nothing there. We'll see if he runs. He does, makes one man miss. He's got some room. Great blocking by Carter Jung, and Sergio Beltran again doing it with his legs, crossing midfield. That's a pickup.
With a nice scamper past midfield
20 yards.
for a first down Knights.
Check that. That's going to be a gain of about 25 yards by Beltran. And the Knights immediately hurry up. They're in an empty backfield, meaning 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Beltran looks. He's going to tuck it again. He's still going. He gets met by number 16, the safety coming up, delivering a nice little shot. But Sergio Beltran is now, he's doing everything.
Another tough 10 yards.
And that'll be a first down. And Beltran coming out, and we'll see Jake Bianchi coming in. Beltran getting a quick breather. Bianchi surveying the field. Drops back, looking. He's going to throw deep for Halsey, and that ball is just over Halsey's outstretched hand. Jake Bianchi throws an outstanding deep ball. Bianchi has a phenomenal arm, extremely accurate, very smart, always knows what to do with the ball. And last week he showed that he can also run with the ball. He dropped his shoulder and ran for a 4-yard touchdown. Not quite the mobility of Beltran, but he can do a bunch of things, as we see. Oh, and that's blitz number 5 comes untouched, gets Bianchi in the backfield, and that's going to hurt the Knights. That's a big loss for about 12 yards, bringing up a 3rd and long from the 45-yard line. Beltran coming back into the game after Bianchi taking a tough hit from number 5. He came in unblocked. You see number 5, he's a single back and a middle linebacker. So as we were saying, a lot of these guys are both offense and defense. Oh, and the nice Beltran hits Court Halsey for a big play on 3rd and long. That's gonna make it 4th and short. Court Halsey on the wheel route. So big play, Menlo hustling up to the ball. It'll be about 4th and 3. Critical play in this game coming up. And Terra Nova looks like they're going to bring some outside pressure. Single high. And Knights are Terra Nova definitely in man. That's Beltran's going to keep it, and he will get the first down. Beltran going off tackle. And so the Knights come from a 3rd and about 25, are able to convert with a big 3rd and long play. And then Beltran on 4th and short. Get them a new set of downs. 1st and 10. Knights, this is the deepest they've been in the Terra Nova territory all day. We're at the 25-yard line. Beltran step back, looking, throwing out. He's got Jung. Good coverage by number 2. And that's an incomplete pass. So the Knights, 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line. It's a 6-0 ball game. Beltran looking this side. Beltran's been, most of the yards this game has come off of Sergio Beltran's legs. A couple big catch and throws, but he's been doing the job on the ground. And again, Beltran dropping, looking, throwing across the middle. He's got Ben Banatao. Catches, he's going to get the first down and taken out of bounds. So Banatao on that drag route catches the ball in stride, and the Knights are moving the football. They are now inside the 20-yard line. So Menlo, 1st and 10 at the, looks like be at the 13-yard line. Beltran sprint right, looking. He's got a wide open end right. He catches the ball, puts his head down, stretches, and hey, gave him the touchdown. What an effort by Bob Enright. Catches the ball in the flat, makes one man miss. Starts to sniff the end zone. Let's watch this here. Beltran sprint right, he's looking downfield. Finds Enright in the flat. He's able to make a man miss and then just dive and the nose of the ball crosses the pylon for Menlo's first touchdown of the day. 6-6 ball game. And the Knights and Ross Muchnick trying to take their first lead of the game. So the Knights have trailed for the first quarter and 8 minutes. They've never trailed up at any point until this point of the season. See if they can regain the lead here. Beltran holding, Ross Muchnick. Snap a little high, Beltran puts it down, and that is good. And so Menlo comes back and takes the lead, 7-6.
Menlo 7, Terra Nova 6.
We mentioned earlier how that Terra Nova missed extra point could be a critical part of this game, and we're seeing that now with Menlo able to take the lead 7-6. There were some key plays there. The third and long where Beltran hit Court Halsey for about 20 plus yards to set up a 4th and short. Beltran able to run for the first down, keep the drive going. This drive, remember, this started inside the Knights 10 after Terra Nova had 4th and short from the Knights 35, and they punted the ball, and Menlo was able to go 91 yards in about 3.5 minutes. It was a good blend of Sergio Beltran running down the field and some of these receivers making key plays, and the Knights executing on their 3rd and long. So the Knights kicking off for the first time today. Ross Muchnick will be kicking off from the 40. He's able to put the ball about 5 yards into the end zone. He's got that strong of a leg. Back deep, standing at the 10-yard line. Our Terra Nova's deep men. They would be wise to back up a few yards. Muchnick running up and booms one, which will go into the end zone about 5-6 yards deep. Ross Muchnick's been doing it all year. It is quite a weapon when you can put the opponents, force them to start at the 20 and make them go 80 yards. So 1st and 10, Terra Nova. And their talented quarterback, Gordon, will come back onto the field. It's been an exciting half of football, even though it's low scoring. We've seen great defensive performances by both teams, and we've seen the talented quarterbacks make critical plays on 3rd and long. Terra Nova in there 2-by-2, shotgun. Gordon looking. He's got all kinds of time. He's going to roll to his right and roll and moving up, and a swarm of Knights are able to tackle him. There's Avery Romaine, Ben Bonatow coming up from the corner position. Ralston Raphael with the initial pressure. So that is a huge play for this defense, forcing Terra Nova into the 2nd and 18. Clock running, 3:50 left in the first half. So that, again, the Knights have been playing outstanding defense. The secondary's done a phenomenal job on Gordon's. When he's had time to throw, there haven't been many open receivers. They've made some big plays, but that have all come at perfectly placed footballs by the quarterback. So for the first time today, we see 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. And there's a flag at the 40-yard line. Let's see what that's all about. That's a delay of game against Terra Nova. So the Tigers now have a 2nd and 22. And now for the first time again, we're seeing 3 receivers to one side of the football. Gordon in the shotgun. Dropping back, looking, and he's getting swallowed up again. That is Ralston Raphael and Avery Romaine. And Terra Nova is going backwards. They are at the 1-yard line. So now 3rd and what looks like forever for Terra Nova. That will stop the clock. Looks like there was Menlo calls a timeout, so Menlo stopping the clock here, seeing that it's going to be 3rd and forever for Terra Nova. They want to get the ball back with three minutes left in good field position. The Menlo defensive line, Ralston, Raphael, Avery, Romaine are doing an outstanding job. Terra Nova's front, they have size and athleticism. They are having trouble blocking this 4-man rush from Menlo. And when they do pick up that 4-man rush, Menlo's defense has been outstanding in their coverage. Ben Bonatow had a key interception early in the first quarter. And we've seen some great tackles by Bob Enright from the safety position. And the linebackers, Tyler Flynn, Aiden Hausenbold, Carter Jung have been flying all over the field and pretty much stuffing the Terra Nova run. So if you're Terra Nova and you're faced with 3rd and long at the 1-yard line, Menlo's been bringing a lot of pressure. You obviously want to get a little breathing room if you're thinking of kicking the ball on 4th down. So what do? Draw a screen. So Terra Nova with in their 2x2, Gordon from the 2-yard line. Gordon looking. He's getting some pressure. He has to jump. There's nobody there. That's going to be a grounding. That has got to be a grounding. He's inside the pocket. There's not a single receiver within 10 yards. And there's the flag. Now, the question's going to be, did Gordon throw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage? In which case it would be the equivalent of a sack and loss of down, but when he threw the ball, was he in the end zone, in which case that would result in a safety. The referees are discussing right now. And awaiting a decision. There's a call, intentional grounding. And that will result in a safety and 2 points for Menlo.
No grounding in the end zone
So
results
the
in a
Menlo
safety for the
defensive
Knights.
line. Applying pressure all day. Comes up big and puts points on the board. So that makes it 9-6, and Menlo will also get the ball as Terra Nova will have to kick off from the 20. There was a tough drive for the Terra Nova Tigers. They started at the 20, and after a couple sacks and pressure, they ended up going backwards until ultimately the intentional grounding throw from the end zone resulting in a safety, giving Menlo a 9-6 lead. I said this earlier, no, we did not expect a defensive battle between these two teams and their high-powered offenses, but that's exactly what it's been. We've had a great defensive performance by both schools. For the first time all season, Menlo having trouble to march down the field at will, and Terra Nova having trouble with Menlo's pass rush. So now from the 20-yard line, after safeties, the kicking team can choose to either punt the football or kick off from a tee, and Terra Nova will be kicking off from the tee. Back deep, Ty Richardson, Jack Geisler. So this is a great opportunity for Menlo. They got 3 minutes left, a 9-6 lead, and the football. This kick, short, shallow kick. It's bounces at 40. Richardson hits 38. Tries to get outside. And the Knights will have excellent field position starting at the 48-yard line.
Richardson return tackled by Darius Smith.
And so 1st and 10 for Menlo. And Beltran in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his left. Terra Nova in a 3-1. Beltran having trouble picking up the ball. He's going to throw deep, and Bonatow just over his hands. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. So Beltran was able to handle handle that snap cleanly. Picked it up, threw, had Banatel within a one-on-one situation. Good ball, good defense. Incomplete pass. Here comes Beltran getting the play in from the sidelines. He's got Jack Geisler in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Beltran, 2-step drop, looking. He's going to tuck it. Makes one man miss. We got a penalty in the background. Beltran will be tackled after a gain of about 3 yards, but let's check on that penalty. That's in the vicinity of what is usually a holding, and that's exactly what it is. So will Terra Nova choose for a 3rd and 7, or will they back up the Knights and make it a 2nd and 20? It looks like they'll be backing up. So Menlo facing a 2nd and 20. Now, the Knights have proven all season long that they have big play capability, and these 2nd, 3rd longs don't seem to phase them too much. Here goes 3 receivers to the left. Beltran looking, throwing, and that'll be over the head of intended receiver Carter Jung. Terra Nova's done a really good job defending the flats. Menlo's had a lot of success throughout the season on those underneath drag routes, and Terra Nova's done an outstanding job defending them. This leaves 3rd and 20 with 2:23 left in the first half. Jake Bianchi coming in. Now this is a big play, because if Terra Nova stops them, then they get the ball back with enough time in their potent offense. Bianchi reaching back, he's throwing a jump ball deep, and really good cut. And there's a flag. Bianchi with a absolute beautiful ball. He dropped back through that 50 yards down the field. Basically got hit Enright in stride. And we'll see, it looks like we might get a pass interference call. The defender was right there with him. So in high school, a pass interference is going to be a 15-yard penalty. It does not result in an automatic first down. Referees are discussing, and we are awaiting the call on what was a critical 3rd and long. And so, they're going to get offensive pass interference. So Bob Enright gets called on that. And you know what? I thought that was just good football there. You had 2 guys in great position battling for the football. Ultimately, an incomplete pass. Now, let's see if Terra Nova is going to choose to decline this penalty or back them up. Now, if they decline the penalty, that would be 4th and long, and it would get them the football. So it should be 4th and 24. The chain gang has a 3rd down on the line, but it should be 4th down. Referees are discussing now what is going on. And it looks like we had offsetting penalties. So what's going to happen after all that, we're going to replay 3rd down. So 3rd and long, Bianchi staying in the game. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Bianchi with his big arm dropping back. He's got time, fires over the middle, and incomplete pass intended for Carter John. Just the ball really flies out of Bianchi's hands. He's got quite the arm. So now, 4th down, Menlo's punting unit will come on. And Terra Nova's going to get another shot with under 2 minutes left, and they have 2 timeouts left. So Ross Muchnick enters the game. 9-6 lead by Menlo. 2:03 left in the first half. Back deep to receive is Tuyasoba. The talented receiver. He's been Gordon's favorite target this afternoon. So Menlo's outside guy, Ty Richardson and Jack Geisler. two athletic kids who are excellent tacklers are down. Much it's a bomb, nice and high, gets a great bounce, and we'll see how far this roll ends up taking a Terra Nova bounce, and it'll be down at the 15-yard line.
Great punt
So a
by
minute
Munstick.
58 left.
Down to the 15-yard line. Be first down, Tigers.
Both teams with 2 timeouts, and we'll see how
1:58
Terra Nova wants to
left
play
in the
this.
half.
Are they going to try to march down that field? Because last time they started at their own 20 and ended up going backwards, resulting in a safety and 2 points for Menlo. Terra Nova has big play capabilities, an outstanding quarterback, and some talented receivers. Menlo's defense has, after that first drive, they've really done an outstanding job, made some great adjustments. Terra Nova has struggled to move the football. And the Knights having to burn a timeout with a little confusion on their substitutions, but now they got their guys ready.
As a reminder, folks, masks are required.
So with a minute 58 left in the first half, Menlo 9, Terra Nova 6. Terra Nova's going to get the ball to start the second half. So we'll see if they're going to try to go some type of hurry up or 2-minute drill, see if they can get some points on the board or add to their 6 points that they've already scored, and then get the ball in the second half. Expect Menlo's pass rush to continue with its heavy pressure it's been applying all day.
Masks are required while playing this football game. Masks are required. Thank you for helping keep our community safe.
And a friendly reminder to all the spectators that masks are required. And for all those fans listening, my last reading, we have 327,000 viewers from all across the United States. Welcome to Atherton, California. This is an outstanding football game between Menlo and Terra Nova. Gordon coming out in the shotgun. We got motion, and that'll be an end around to number 1. And makes one man miss, cuts back, and there he goes. Tuyasa was going to turn the corner, and great job pursuing by Griff Perkins. Griff Perkins may have just saved the touchdown, but not before a 30-yard run by Tuyasa Sopo. So Terra Nova with a little trickery gives them 30 yards, and now they're in business. They're going no huddle into that 2x2. A minute 40. And the clock taking Terra Nova with 2 timeouts at their own 45. Three to the right. Gordon rolling right, rolling, throwing on the move, and that's up for grabs, and that's and right. Extends and almost is able to pull that in for an interception. Again, outstanding coverage from the Knights. Gordon was forced to throw that ball on the move to his right. And right was the closest person there. So 2nd and 10, a minute 28. Clock is stopped after the incomplete pass. Menlo been applying very heavy pressure. That's been Hausenbold, Raphael, Avery Romaine, and Court Halls all day harassing. And again, we got a double reverse. Avery Romaine, really good job staying home. And this is going to go nowhere. That is outstanding defense by Avery Romaine. Yeah, most guys at the end, they see that after they hit with the end around, they would chase, and Romaine stays home, forces the running back to look outside and allow the Menlo defenders to pursue. That didn't fool anyone. So 3rd and about 7 yards to go. We'll see how Terra Nova plays this. They're going to be smart with the clock here. We'll see. Because if we get an incomplete pass, then that's going to give Menlo the football back. So they're letting a little bit of clock wind down. Under 1 minute. Gordon with 3 receivers to his right. Drops back. Throws a deep ball. He's got Tuyasa Sopo. He's running. Oh, right through his hands. That couldn't have thrown it better. And so a huge uncharacteristic drop by the star receiver is going to force a 4th and 7. Wow, that's going to be a play that Terra Nova is going to wish they had back. Gordon delivered it absolute perfect ball. A beautiful route by Tuiasosopo. Just couldn't finish the play. Those are plays that can really drop your head and get upset at yourself, or you can flush it and come back. We'll see what happens to Terra Nova. Meanwhile, on the punt, looks like one of the Knights may have got a finger on that. And so now Menlo with 43 seconds, and we've seen that to be plenty of time for this offense to march down the field and score. Menlo will have 43 seconds in great field position at their own 46-yard line. So some pressure on Terra Nova and their defense now. The Knights, that was one of their first defensive miscues, where you saw a receiver running free on that last 3rd and long. And Menlo dodged the bullet with that. So Menlo offense will be coming out on the field. We've seen these guys go 90 yards in under 40 seconds. So 43 seconds, plenty of time for Menlo to move the ball. They have 1 timeout left. Terra Nova's got 2. Here comes Beltran in the shotgun. Beltran looking right. He's going to tuck it. And then he dumps it off to Geisler at the last minute. And Geisler's got some room. And Geisler's able to get past the 35-yard line to about the 34. And there is Sergio Beltran again, using his legs to draw the defense in, and then he just dumps it over the linebacker's head to a wide open Geisler. Yeah, he was right behind the line of scrimmage. Beltran looking deep, and he's throwing, and nobody there. 27 seconds left in the first half. 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line. Ty Richardson in it, single back. We have Halsey, Ben Banatau, Carter Jug, Bob Enright. They've all been active on both sides of the football this first half. So conditioning will play a critical role in the second half, as both schools have a number of their key players playing both sides of the football. Beltran out of the shotgun. 2nd and 10. Here comes some pressure up the middle by Terra Nova. And this is going to be a hold. And that is caught. That's Carter Jung, who's got some room to run, makes a couple men miss, goes down at the 10, but that ball's coming back. We saw that there was a middle backer pressure, and he was caught by the guard on Menlo. So holding will back up Menlo, and this will be 2nd and about 20 for the Knights. 16 seconds left in the first half. Chris Liao, number 6, checks into the game. Liao, a junior, plays slot and free safety. Another one of these talented receivers on this Menlo team. They are deep at the receiver position. Their skill position is one of the deepest they've had in 20 years. So the Knights, 2-by-2, Beltran back to pass, looking, hit and he throws, and that'll be incomplete. And so with 9 seconds left, Beltran took a pretty good shot there by hit by 2 Terra Nova Tigers, and Bianchi will jump right in. The thing that makes this offense so special is they've proven they can score at any time, and they have 2 quarterbacks who can step in and really move this offense. So Beltran needs a breather. Bianchi, he's able to come in. They will not miss a beat. Ty Richardson to Bianchi's right, the junior backfield under center. Bianchi, 3-step drop, sets, hit as he throws, and that ball is up in the air and knocked down in between 3 Terra Nova defenders. And so 2 seconds left in the half. This will be, we'll see if Menlo's just going to probably throw one up into the end zone. See if we can get something. This will be the last play of the half, barring some type of penalty. So at the 45-yard line, Bianchi absolutely has the arm to throw it 50 yards into the end zone. Now a lot of things have to happen. They have to protect the quarterback and allow him to have time to step up in the pocket and throw. But Bianchi has the arm, and Menlo's got some speedy, talented ball hawks on the outside. So we'll see what happens. Expect a deep pass here. 9-6 Menlo. They scored on a touchdown by Bob Enright and 2 points on a safety. Terra scored early in the first quarter. Missed the extra point, and that gives us 9-6. This is an outstanding football game here today. So Menlo trying to draw something up for this last play. There's really 2 things you can do. You can throw the ball as far as you can and hope something comes down to it. You can maybe try a screen pass and get one of your athletes in space and see if they can pop one. Or you can always try a little trickery. So here we go. Expect Terra to have several men very deep, 20, 25 yards. We'll see if they bring pressure. It's usually a good idea to bring some type of pressure in this situation so that the quarterback cannot really set his feet, especially a big arm quarterback. You want him to set his feet to be able to throw that 50-yard pass. So we'll see how Terra defends this. Earlier today in the JV football game, Menlo's JV football team defeated Terra 41-7. Here we are on the varsity. Up 9-6. 3 receivers to the right. That's Halsey, Enright, Ben Bonatel. Out to the left is Chris Liao. All in the backfield, Ty Richardson, and now the referees are moving the ball back 5 yards. We did not get unsure what the call of the field, but that makes things a little more difficult. Bianchi after the guy drops back, he's gonna have to really show off his arm here. Tiger showing pressure. Here comes that outside pressure. Picked up well by the Knights and thrown, and that'll be intercepted. And still on his feet is number 2. And chased down. And so the half ends on an interception. 9-6 Menlo. Second half coming up.
6.
looks like be at the 13-yard line. Beltran sprint right, looking. He's got a wide open end right. He catches the ball, puts his head down, stretch. Empty backfield, meaning 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Beltran looks. He's going to tuck it again. He's still going. He gets met by number 16, the safety. Steps back, looking, nothing there. We'll see if he runs. He does, makes one man miss. He's got some room. Great blocking by Carter Jung, and Sergio Beltran again doing it with his legs. And welcome back to the second half. Menlo Terra with the Knights up 9-6. They will be kicking off. Knights and Ross Muchnick kicking towards the scoreboard. Last time they kicked from here, Ross Muchnick hit it 5 yards deep in the end zone. So a defensive first half, resulting in a 9-6 Menlo lead. They scored a touchdown on Rob Enright's 11-yard catch from Sergio Beltran, and then a safety resulting in 2 points. So Muchnick hits this one to the back of the end zone. That's about 70 yards in the air for Ross Muchnick. And here comes Terra Nova's offense, led by quarterback Gordon. The Knights, outstanding first half of defensive football. Great pressure by their D-line. Avery Romaine, Max Kinder, Ralston Raphael, Court Halsley. That's a junior defensive line, and they are dominating. These guys are going to be scary next year. The linebackers are seniors: Aiden Hausenbold, Sam Scola, Tyler Flynn, and Ben Banatow at corner. Here we go. Gordon on the first snap, rolling to his left, throwing across his body, and that is an absolute beautiful play by number 9, Griff Perks. Watch the way Perks reads this. He's dropping back. He sees Gordon roll. Here comes the out cut. He's going to jump underneath the out cut, get that lead hand out to drop it down. That is absolute beautiful football by the senior safety. Griff Perks, he's a 3-year varsity player for the Menlo Knights. Sitting next to him is 2-year varsity player, but junior Rob Enright. And both Geisler as a corner, he's a 3-year varsity player. And on the other side is Ben Banatow, a 2-year varsity player. So here comes Terra. Single back to left. We got a little motion by number 1 who stays in. That'll be a handoff to number 5. Tries to turn the corner, gets outside, but immediately met by Geisler, the cornerback, coming up for that run support. So Terra, 2 plays into the second half, find themselves in a 3rd and long. Knights defense should probably expect a pass play here. Terradova's had most of the damage they've done has been through the air. They popped a big one on a reverse. Gordon with a quick stat, that's a screen pass, caught by number 7, who's able to lunge forward. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. So Terradova on 3rd and 7 with the wide receiver screen. This will be an interesting decision here for the Tigers now on 4th and about 1 yard line. The offense is still on the field. Oh, that's really close. I mean, they are 4th and less than a yard, about half a yard. So the kickoff one into the end zone, meaning that the Terradova started at the 20. They just have to get to the 30-yard line. The ball is just shy of that. So out of shotgun, here comes Menlo. They're stacking the box. And that's a direct snap, and look at Menlo pumping it. But Tuiasosopo with a great second effort. You know what? The Knights had that stuff. Tuiasosopo with direct snap to one of their best athletes. Ran into a bunch of traffic. You can see the Knights had that squeeze down, and he just bumps it out, and he does that all by himself. That is a big play, because if you know what, if Menlo stops them, they get the ball first down inside their own 30-yard line with a 9-6 lead. But Terranova able to extend the drive now, 1st and 10. Knights defense has been swarming all afternoon. Gordon out of the shotgun, quick throw, and that is caught down the sideline for about 4 yards. Met immediately by the senior captain, Tyler Flynn. So Terranova now going to their quick passing game. We've seen a wide receiver screen, and now a 2-step and quick throw by Gordon for 5 yards. Tigers 2nd down and about 6 yards to go. Ball marked at the 36-yard line, 37-yard line. Oh, it looks like that was Halsey. They've crossed the line of scrimmage. We'll see if he was drawn offsides. Nope, that'll be encroachment on the junior captain, Court Halsey. Court Halsey's one of those guys who just rarely leaves the football field. He plays tight end / receiver. A key component of this defensive line that has been absolutely dominating the first 3 games of the season. So now Terranova with the 2nd and short. We'll see how they see if they take a shot and go deep on this. It's usually a fun play to try a big one. Gordon, there it is. Double move, throws deep. Great coverage by Perks, and that's incomplete. You know, on 2nd and 1, you figure you got 2 downs, 3 downs to get 1 yard. So it's always a good idea to maybe try to go for a big one, see if you can hit that home run. Because knowing if you miss it, you still have 3rd and 4th and about 1 yard to go. So that brings up a 3rd and 1 for Terranova. About 3 minutes have passed in the first quarter. Terranova started with the ball at their own 20-yard line, converted a 4th and short already. Now they find themselves in a 3rd and short. Gordon in the shotgun. Knights showing some pressure up the middle. Here it comes. And there they are. The Knights all over this. Stuffing Terra Nova for a 3-yard loss, leading to a 4th and 5. And so it looks like we will see the punting unit of Terra Nova come on. But Menlo, they sniffed that out. They brought all the pressure right up the middle. They're not going to allow Terra Nova to run for that half-yard. And that's a really good job by the Menlo Knights defensive front. Because Terra Nova, they got some physically up front. They have some very skilled and large linemen. So Terra Nova punting with 8.5 left to go in the third. There's a snap and a quick kick, and that's a short punt headed to the sideline, and Menlo will have excellent starting field position as that ball is out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. So here come the Knights. The offense, for the first time all season, really struggled to move the ball up and down the field. We'll see what halftime adjustments were made as Menlo starting now for the first with great field position on the 50-yard line. So coming out to lead the team is going to be Sergio Beltran. You know, we saw a lot of Jake Bianchi in the first half, and they were mixing up, and we'll see maybe as the second half continues, they'll be using both quarterbacks. So Knights come out with 2 guys in the backfield, and that's going to be Beltran leading, and a great play by number 2 to come up from the corner position and not let Beltran get inside where he had some blockers. So Beltran is funny, you know, you see him and you say, great defense, look at how they stopped him, but then you look up and there's Beltran getting 4 or 5 yards of carry. So here we go, 2nd down, 7. Knights in that 2x2. Beltran dropping, looking, throwing into the flats. He's got Geisler, who's caught, met immediately, and now we have a flag in the backfield, and that's going to be either a hold or it could be a late hit on the quarterback. Let's see what happens. We got Menlo players here. That's going to be a personal foul, roughing the passer, and that's a big penalty. That's 15 yards will be tacked on to the end of that play. Watch, it looks like Beltran hangs in there. Just you see as he releases it, he gets hit up high by Terra Nova's big defensive lineman. Beltran shakes it off, and the Knights have great field position. It'll be 1st and 10 inside the 30. Knights 3 receivers to the left, Ben Bonata to the right. Beltran. He hands it off to Geisler, who's got a big hole, and he's inside the 20. That'll be a 1st down for Menlo. So the rare Menlo handoff leading to a 10-yard gain, but hold on, there's a flag on the play. Looks like that one's going to be coming back. So Menlo will be charged with a holding penalty, and in high school these are spot fouls. So the hold occurred at the line of scrimmage, making this 1st down and 20. Beltran looking to the sideline, getting the plays in. He's got Jack Geisler. Geisler's been playing both sides of the football, and we see him on special teams. There's a snap. Quick pass. There's Carter Jung. This is the guy you want to get the ball in his hands. He is the Knights playmaker. And Jung is able to turn that quick pass into a 5-yard gain. Carter Jung is probably the fastest guy on this football field. The senior is having an outstanding football season on both sides of the ball. Beltran dropping back, looking, comes underneath, and right there, really good. Terra Nova's done an outstanding job on these underneath drag routes. Now Menlo's, the first 3 games of the season has absolutely decimated opponents on those underneath crossing routes, but Terra Nova's done a really good job staying home, and those outside linebackers are turning around and picking that up quick, not allowing Menlo to get big plays, or not allowing the receivers to catch the ball underneath with room to run. So big play, 3rd and long. This is 4-down territory. Beltran sprint left, really good play. He tucks it, runs, and there goes Sergio, and he's going to be wrapped up at about the 29-yard line. Well, here we go, 4th down, inside the 30. And expect the Knights defense to stay on the field. You know, Ross Muchnick does have the leg to hit what would be about a 45-yard field goal. Looks like the Menlo offense will stay on it. Check that, it'll be about 4th and 11. Here we go, Beltran with 3 receivers to his right. Puts Geisler to the right. And Bonata, the lone receiver to the left. There's a drill. Some pressure, Beltran throws over the middle, incomplete pass. And Menlo turns the ball over on downs. So Terra, who has struggled offensively ever since that first drive in those first 2 drives in the first quarter, they have not been able to find a rhythm. They had one great opportunity late in the second quarter, although a beautiful pass was not, the receiver wasn't able to haul it in, and that would have been an absolute game changer. But now Terra with the ball, down 9-6, 5 minutes, 10 seconds left in the third quarter. You see guys such as number 4, Banatow, 7, Geisler, 11, Enright. They've all played offense almost every snap. Court Halsey, another one of those guys. So their conditioning is going to play a critical part into this game's outcome, especially as we get into the fourth quarter. Up front, Aiden Hausenbold, Ralston Raphael, Max Kinder also have been pretty much on the field for every snap of this football game. Here comes Gordon in the gun. That's Tuiasosopo in motion. They give the end around to Tuiasosopo. And Menlo, they've tried that a few times, and Menlo's been all over that. They're all over that again. That's going to be a 2-yard loss. So if you're Terra, they had success early on throwing the ball, and they've also shown that they can move the football on quick throws. The run game has not been there at all. Second down, 10 yards to go. Terra Tigers. There we go. They got Tuiasosopo. They move him around a lot. You see him. He's in the slot receiver now. He's been on the outside. They motion him. They try to get the ball in his hands. Gordon out of gun. 2 steps, looking, throws over the middle. He goes to Tuiasosopo, and just outside of his outstretched hands. Incomplete pass. Gordon's got great release, throws a really good ball, just a little bit outside, and that's a couple times Tuiasosopo. He's a difficult kid to cover, especially downfield. So a big 3rd and 10 play. Last time the Tigers were in a 3rd and long, they went through a wide receiver screen. Looks with the corners pressed now. They're going to have a difficult time hitting the screen. Looks like Menlo showing some pressure. And there's some movement. Let's see, is that going to be a false start, or did Menlo cross it? A false start. Backs up Terra. That'll be a 3rd and 15. So special teams is going to really play a critical role in the outcome of this game. As we see 3rd and longs, the punting, and as we've seen the PATs, and probably kickoff return coverage and return ability is going to really make an impact on the end of this game. Here we go, Gordon. Looking, here's the rush, eyes upfield, still looking, nobody open, still looking, throwing with the guy all over his back, incomplete pass, 4th down, here comes the punt team. So Terra having trouble moving the ball. They took the opening kickoff, started at their own 20, moved about 20 yards, were able to convert a 4th and short, but then the drive stalled, and here they are again. They going backwards, leaving them in a 4th and 15 in a punting situation. And so the Knights with some confusion. Looks like personnel guys, they might have had 12 men on the field, so they had to burn a timeout. So Menlo uses a timeout so that they don't get flagged for 12 men on the field, and they're going to talk about special teams here. The last couple punts for Terra have been shallow punts. So we'll see if Menlo's going to apply a little pressure. the things we notice about Terra Nova and their special teams, their punter traditionally usually get about 12 yards between the center and the punter. If you watch Terra Nova, it's pretty shallow. Their punter gets about 8 yards deep, so it's a catch and a quick kick. Punter number 55's got a great leg, and their long snapper, he's been on point all day. So here comes the Menlo special teams unit, including we've got a lot of juniors in this game. I see Aaron Chen making an appearance. We have Jabal, Ty Richardson. Back deep are Benetau and Ty Richardson. And again, a high but very short punt. Bounces, and it'll be down by Terra Nova, inside Terra Nova territory at the 41-yard line. So we mentioned that their punter, he's got quite the leg. This was a booming high one, just didn't quite have the distance. And so Menlo has been getting excellent field position. So here comes the Menlo offense, starting at Terra Nova's 40-yard line. Beltran coming out to the field. The Knights offensive line, Avery Romaine, Aiden Zhao, Aiden Hausenbold, Max Kinder, Ralston Raphael. Protecting Sergio Beltran, the quarterback. Ty Richardson in the backfield. Beltran pulls it, and there's a quick slant off the hands of Benton. So that looks like an RPO, which means run pass option. So the quarterback gets the ball, and he's surveying the defense, and he's able to either hand it off to the running back if he likes what he sees, or he pulls it back and throws. In this case, he throws a quick slant to Benetau, but just a little bit in front. So second and 10, Beltran sprint right. This is a run all the way, and good job again by number 2 to come up and the cornerback position and hold Beltran to a gain of about 5 yards. 3rd and 5, Knights in 4-down territory. They've been doing it behind Sergio Beltran's legs this afternoon. Nice look into the sky. They have Carter Jung, Rob Enright, and that is Ari Crane at the wide position. Oh, that's a fumbled snap, and Richardson just has to fall on it. So that's a big play for Menlo, now putting them into a 4th and 9 situation at about the 40-yard line. And the Knights trusting their defense, and the defense has been outstanding all afternoon. So inside their opponent's 40, they're going to bring out their punt team. Ross Muchnick coming out. Terra Nova right now, they're watching to make sure that it's not a fake. They don't have anyone deep. They're just in their base defense. And there it is. And there's no rush. They're going to just let Ross try to angle this inside the 20. And that's exactly what he does as the ball rolls, and Richardson dives, touches the ball at the 1, but rolls into the end zone. And that will be a touchback. That was outstanding execution by the Knights. Muchnick just pooched it right to the goal, had it roll right to the 1. Richardson was there, touched it at the 1, but all of his momentum carried him across the goal line. And Terra Nova will start at their 20. So a defensive battle. This continues. Gordon coming out again against this Menlo defense. They've been outstanding across the board, secondary and their D-line and defensive front. Gordon out of shotgun. Quick throw. He's got Tuiasosopo with the block, and Tuiasosopo able to get outside the corner, drop his shoulder. And there's a nice collision between him and Griff Perks. That's good for a first down. So Terra Nova going to their quick passing game. Ball set at the left hash. 1st and 10, Terra Nova. Gordon out of shotgun. Senior quarterback. Scanning the field. There's a snap, looking, throws the out, and right there is Ty Richardson. Outstanding defense. We've seen that before where the cornerbacks sit on those out routes, and once the ball's delivered, they immediately hit the receiver. Credit to the Terra Nova receivers for holding on to that after a hard hit. So the pass goes for about 3 yards. Really good pass defense by Menlo. And that leads to a 2nd and 7. So Terra Nova, they've struggled with the running game all day. They're going to the passing game. And it looks like we had early movement. That might be Terra Nova's left tackle. Let's see. And referee, there it is. False start against Terra Nova. 2 minutes, 13 seconds left in this third quarter of this defensive struggle between the Menlo Knights and the Terra Nova Tigers. So Menlo earlier this year played a Bay League team in Kings Academy and had great success in a decisive victory. And their second of 3 Bay League opponents is here today, Terra Nova. This is a very competitive ball game. Of course, the Knights' third Bay team is going to be Sacred Heart Prep in week 10 of the football season. Warden hit his throw. Ball intercepted by Ty Flynn. And the Menlo defense again with critical play after critical play, keeping this team in the game. Let's watch this. Let's watch this play. Menlo brings some pressure. There was outside pressure. Guy goes untouched, which forces Gordon to throw the ball off his back foot. Wobbly pass, and Tyler Flynn, who's an outstanding athlete, is able to stop on a dime, come back, and make a very acrobatic interception. Tyler Flynn, this is his first football game of the season. He's an impact player, and it's great to see him make a play, a key play for the Menlo Knights. So Menlo, again, with great field position. The offense having some difficulty. And again, Menlo came out, they only had 10 guys on the field. So that's twice Menlo's had to burn timeouts due to personnel issues coming off of turnovers. Looks like Court Halsey, the regular player who plays wide, is coming off for a play, and he's stretching out. To see him back on the field soon. Halsey's replacement was Ari Crane last drive. We'll see if Crane comes in here as we have 2 minutes, 8 seconds left in the third quarter. Still 9-6 Menlo. First 3 games of the season, Menlo had put up about 35 points in the first half on each game. All 3 games ultimately ended with a running clock. Not today. Terra Nova's defense has been stout. And Menlo trying to open this game open. This would be they have a great opportunity here with great field position. 1st and 10. Richardson and Geisler in the backfield. Give, pass. It's a backwards pass to Richardson, who makes a man miss. He's still on his feet, and then he's going to be tackled at the 44-yard line. That's a dangerous play because that ball is backwards. Now, if Richardson does not catch that, that's a live football. In any event, very good job by Richardson to bounce off that first back and keep the play alive, but that's going to result in a loss of about 5 yards. Court Halsey back on the field. And there's a flag. Let's take a look. We have another encroachment. Yes, it is encroachment. So Menlo's going to get that 5 yards back. Terra Nova is having some procedural issues. We've seen it on the offensive side of the ball, multiple false starts. And here they cross the line of scrimmage a little too early. Beltran. Richardson, he pulls it back. There goes Sergio Beltran. And Sergio Beltran runs the ball inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. That's about a 20-yard gain for the senior quarterback. We're not keeping official stats up here, but I think Sergio Beltran's well over 100 yards rushing today. So Menlo at 1st and 10. Looks like that's Ari Crane at the Y position. And there he is, Beltran again. And this time Terra Nova is swarming him. That'll be, that's one of the shortest runs of the day by Sergio Beltran. So Knights are in the red zone. And now it becomes interesting. There's a decision time where if the Knights get to a 4th down, 4th and long, do they go for it, or do they maybe let Ross Muchnick kick a field goal? Muchnick's got a leg. Beltran, 3 receivers to the left, and Benata to his right. Ty Richardson in the backfield. Aiden Zales had an outstanding game at the center position. Perfect snaps. There it is. That's a quarterback draw. Beltran makes a couple men miss, drops his head, and is able to fight forward to about the 11-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 1. Check that. That'll be about 3rd and 3. So that was a design run play from the get-go. You saw Beltran catch, look as if he's throwing, and then just tuck and run with he had blockers in front of him. So Menlo putting it in Sergio Beltran's hands and saying, run the ball down the field. And that is going to end the 3rd quarter. Menlo 9, Terra Nova 6. The last time these two teams played, the scoreboard was lighting up. If I remember correctly, it was 62-14. And the prior time they played, it was 45-42, as these two teams were throwing the ball all around the field. This year, though, is different. 2 offensive teams who are exploding with putting up numbers on the scoreboard. Their first 3 games are in a defensive struggle. It is 9-6. Menlo going into the first quarter, and Menlo's driving. They're going to have a 3rd and short at about the 11-yard line. So you figure if Menlo can punch it in, that gives them a 2-touchdown advantage, and that's based on the way their defense is playing. That should be enough. But you never know. Terra Nova has a very explosive offense and a quarterback who can pretty much throw the ball anywhere on the field.
Also, number 9, Ohio State leads closely, 27.
Some highlights from earlier in the game. Saw the first quarter, that fumble. That allowed first quarter fumble recovery, and then Terra Nova marched right down the field. Ever since then, though, the Knight defense has been stifling. So here we go, Menlo, 3rd and short. It's Carter Jung in motion. And there's Beltran, pitches to Richardson. He's got a 1st down and more, and that's a touchdown, Ty Richardson. So Menlo with the option. Beltran pitches to Richardson, who does the left, and the Knights are going to jump out to a 15-6 lead. That is just a really good job. They leave the end. You watch Beltran. He attacks the end, basically makes the guy pick his poison. Does he go and tackle the quarterback? And if he does, Beltran pitches to Richardson, and Richardson scores. Or you let that end maybe cover the option, in which case Beltran would just tuck in and score. So the Knights taking advantage of their athletic backfield, scoring on an option play on 3rd and short from 11 yards out, Ty Richardson. Here comes Muchnick on for the extra point. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is blocked. So Terra Nova is able to stop the Knights, and that means Menlo is going to have a 9-point lead with 11:53 left in the 4th quarter. So this is it. Terra Nova's offense has not done much since that first quarter. So the Menlo Knight defense, which consists of many two-way starters, they're going to have to dig deep and finish out this football game. Of course, Terra Nova and Menlo are similar in that they don't necessarily have 50 guys on their roster and deep teams, so most of these guys are going 2 ways. So they're going to be fighting with everything they have left in the tank, as there's 1 quarter left of football in this competitive match. We thought this would be a good game going into this match between the two undefeated teams. I think most people might have expected a bit more offense from both sides, but here we are. It's been a defensive struggle. And Menlo currently leading 15-6. So here's Muchnick. His last 3 kicks have all gone into the end zone. This is his first time kicking from right to left. This one is hit, and that'll be caught at about the 2. That's Sopo. He's got some blockers, and he's going to get outside. He's got some room. There he goes. He drops his head, and that's outstanding field position for Terra Nova. So Terra Nova with excellent field position. You know, since that first quarter, they've been starting deep in their own territory. This one, this time they get to start at the 44-yard line. So Gordon comes out. Is he going to be able to figure out this Menlo Knights defense? Knights with 3 down linemen. Raphael, Halsey, Avery Romaine. And there we go. Run play up the middle. There's number 5. He's able to break one, cuts inside, and that's one of the biggest runs of the day for Terra Nova. A 12-yard run by number 5 who refuses to go down.
Palmer, tough run, gains 11 for a first down.
So Terra Nova inside Menlo territory for the first time in a while. Starting this drive off with a run play. Knights. These guys have played an outstanding effort all day long. Scola, the senior, outside linebacker. Hausenwold in the middle. Flynn in the middle. Those all seniors. There's Gordon out of the gun, scanning the field. There's the snap. He's looking. He's going to throw a deep ball. He's got a man. And, oh, just outside the reach of number 1. Well, that's been Gordon's go-to, man, all day. They want to get the ball in number 1's hands. He's an outstanding athlete. That's a really good pass. If the receiver just starts to fade towards the sideline as that ball's in the air, he might catch it and score. So Terra Nova taking their shots. And I think that's what you want to do when you have a quarterback with that type of arm and you have this outside speed on the receivers. So here we go, a 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line. Knights cornerbacks, Richardson, Geisler, they're bailing. Here comes some pressure. They're hit, that's a live football. Oh, no it's not, they called a forward pass. So that looks like that was Court Halsey put on the pressure. Nobody picks him up coming off the edge. It's Gordon, and the referee said that his arm was going forward and called an incomplete pass. So 3rd and 10 for Terra Nova. You got to think in the 4th quarter, down 2 scores, that this might be 4-down territory. Court Halsey, he's an outstanding athlete, very quick from that edge position, hard guy to block, as we saw in that last play. So Gordon, that's a wide receiver screen, gets out, and look at Ty Richardson go underneath the block, make a play in the backfield. That is outstanding football by Ty Richardson. So Richardson scored a touchdown earlier in the drive, and there on a 3rd and long is undercuts. Now that wide receiver screen is set up perfectly. If Richardson does not undercut that blocker, that could be a touchdown. Outstanding work by the junior cornerback. So Terra Nova is going to now kick it. Down 2 scores, 10 minutes left. Back deep is Rob Enright. A low snap, nice pickup. And that's a beautiful punt. It's angling towards the end zone and rolls out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. What a perfect punt by Terra Nova. And so the special teams, we said special teams were going to have a huge impact, and this has given Terra Nova an opportunity. Their defense is going to see if they can apply some pressure and maybe return the favor, that safety that Menlo had on them earlier in the game. 9 minutes, 56 seconds left to go in the football game. Menlo leading 15-6. So here comes Beltran. He's got Ben Banatau, Carter Jung on his right. Halsey Enright. Richardson in the backfield. Check that, that's Geisler. There's Beltran rolling, throws over the middle. Oh, and that's intercepted, caught by number 5, and he's gonna score a touchdown. And Terra Nova, that's the big play they needed. There's a flag down on the play. We'll see what the result of that penalty is. Now that could be a game changer, the penalty, because first of all, now we have Beltran down. That's gonna be a
roughing the passer on the Tigers.
And so, a huge penalty, taking 6 points off the board. That would have been a pick 6. Instead, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. Put the Knights just outside the 20. So Menlo backed up. Menlo was backed up all the way inside their 5. Had just thrown what might have been a pick 6 and an absolute momentum changer. Penalty wipes all that out. And now the Knights have a 1st and 10 at the 20. Beltran, 3 receivers to his left. Geisler to his left. There's a give to Geisler. He's going off tackle. And he's going to swarm some turnover defenders.
Geisler for a couple, he's up 7 and 8.
It'll be about 2nd down and 8 yards to go for the Knights. We'll see if they're going to start to eat up some clock here. Beltran looking to the sidelines. Clock running at 9:20. Knights with a 2-possession lead. Beltran fakes inside. They're setting up the screen. There's Geisler with blockers in front of him. And he's middle. There's a flag down, usually in the area of, it could be an illegal man downfield. It could be a block in the back. Let's see what happens here. So currently that's a 3rd and short. There's a flag. Let's see what the penalty is. Looks like the Knights are going to be backing up. It's an illegal block in the back against Menlo. So Menlo will now see themselves with a 2nd and long at the 15-yard line. Ty Richardson back in the game, single back. Ben Bonatal, single receiver to the right, receiver to the left. And again, that might be the 3rd or 4th time that Terra Nova D-line is encroached. And so the Knights get 5 yards back of that last penalty, and that goes now 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8 for them. And with the clock rolling, Beltran surveying the defense. Knights looking to the sideline. Terra Nova, one single high safety in the middle of the field. Looks like they're manned up everywhere else. And there it is, a quick pass caught by Enright. Makes one man miss. He's on that outside. There he goes. There he goes, Enright. Nobody's going to catch him. That is the touchdown. He's celebrating already at the 30-yard line. Oh, you know what? The referees did not like that. So we might get a unsportsmanlike conduct on Enright. Once he made one man miss, he was gone. Nobody was going to catch him, but looks like he put that number 1 finger in the air on the 30-yard line. The referee did not like that. Now the question is this going to be enforced after the touchdown or at the spot of the unnecessary or the conduct penalty? You hate to see referees call a penalty like that. So the unsportsmanlike conduct on Menlo. So that is 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Now remember that there was nobody within 15 yards of Enright. And so the touchdown will be wiped off the field. But hey, those are the rules of football. You don't celebrate. And Bob Enright, he's going to have to learn it the hard way. And that's going to be, he had a touchdown taken off the field. So Menlo still with the football. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. There it is, back to the option. Beltran goes inside, he's got some room. Makes a couple men miss, he's still on his feet. And he was almost taken down at the 25-yard line. There goes Sergio Beltran. 15-yard run. So they went back to that option play, which they scored earlier in the game. So here we go. Knights back with 3 men to the right. Richardson in the backfield. Looks like they're starting to chew up some clock here. Draw, and there it goes. The option again. Beltran just tucks his head, plows forward, 8 yards. So difficult to defend. That's when you have a team that's been throwing the ball over the field, it tends to widen out the defense, and they don't want those crossing routes. They don't want to get beat deep. They want the crossing routes. That opens up the run game. You have a running quarterback like Beltran. He can make you pay, and he's been making the Terra Nova defense pay with his legs all afternoon. So the Knights with Halsey and Richardson in the backfield. Beltran out of shotgun. Beltran, he's keeping on the ground, runs, sprints, pulls back, throws, and just off the fingertips of Court Halsey. Beautiful play design. Now, after Beltran's been running the ball, you see him start sprint right like he's gonna run, and then pulls up at the last second here. Had Halsey open and just a little bit low and outside. So here we go, 3rd and short again for Menlo. See if they go back to that option. Perhaps the draw. Adjustments will Terra Nova make. They start to show some pressure. They got 6 men in the box. Here we go. Beltran sprint right. Fading, throwing. Caught by Enright. And Enright. Good for a first down. Takes it to about the 5-yard line. Menlo will have a 1st and goal up 15-6 with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. This drive began inside the 5 for Menlo. What could have been a potential pick 6 was wiped out with the roughing the passer, and Menlo is now marched up and down the field. They had a potential 70-yard touchdown run. There's Beltran moving right, left, and he is. Ball comes out inside the 1. And it looks, that's Terra Nova's football. Wow, and so just as we were saying, where Menlo started inside the 5 with their drive, it looked like it might have been a pick 6. That was wiped out by a penalty. Then Menlo had a breakaway, what appeared to be a touchdown reception, which unsportsmanlike conduct. That first wiped away that touchdown. And now Menlo gets to the 1-yard line. Ball is fumbled. Terra Nova recovers, and with 6:47 left in the 4th quarter, Terra Nova is at the 3-yard line. Offense on the field. Well, last time they were backed up, Menlo was able to get a safety, and here comes Terra Nova running the ball up the middle, trying to get a little bit of breathing room, but there's not much there. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Now Terra Nova's going to have to start moving. They are down 2 possessions. There is 6 minutes, 30 seconds left in this football game. So Terra Nova taking their time coming in out of the huddle. They're going to need a score, a stop, and another score if they're going to win this game. Right now they just got to go 98 yards for first touchdown. Gordon dropping back, looking, time, throwing over the middle, and that's going to be a big play. There goes number 1. Here comes Enright. Oh, a good move. Look at the nice pursuit. And a 55-yard pass play from Gordon to number 1. Has Terra Nova moving. Now, great job by Menlo pursuing on that football. I thought on the catch there, number 1 was going to be gone, but we had Enright, Bonatow, Geisler, everyone not giving up on the play and able to prevent Terra Nova from scoring a touchdown. 5:55 left in the game. That was a huge play by Terra Nova. 3 men to the right, 1 to the left. Gordon dropping, there's a middle screen. And that's set up well. There goes number 5, Palmer. He's got some room, gets outside, and there's a penalty marker down at about the 35-yard line. That looks like it's going to be against Terra Nova, potential block in the back. That was set up very nicely by Terra Nova. see what the flag is. They're going to get a hold on Terranova. And again, that's a spot foul, so that'll be it from the 35. That'll make it a 1st and 15. Terranova at Menlo's 45-yard line. So Terranova has all 3 timeouts left. Menlo, remember, they had to use 2 timeouts due to personnel issues. They got 1 left in the rest of the game. Gordon rolling right, and they're going right back to the same play. That's a middle screen. There's going to be a roughing the passer. So there's going to be 15 yards tacked on to the end of that run. And Terranova is moving. So Terranova, after struggling for 2.5 quarters of football, started this drive at the 2-yard line. This is going to probably put them around the 15-yard line after they get this 15-yard roughing the passer penalty tacked on. So there goes Terranova. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. This drive started at the 2. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left. Terranova has run in back-to-back plays, screen plays, and they've caught Menlo on both of them. So Knights rolled up. Chris Liao in at the free safety position. Gordon rolling. He's got a beautiful tackle by Jack Geisler. So that's a gain of about 3. Check that. That'll be no gain. So Menlo with Enright, Liao at the safety position, Richardson, Geisler at the corners. Flynn, Hausenbold, Scola, they've played excellent games at the linebacker positions. And that defensive line has been outstanding. Tyler Flynn, number 22, showing some pressure. There's a snap. Gordon fakes the quick dive, throws deep, picked off Bob Enright. That might be a game-saving interception in the end zone by Enright. Terranova and Gordon, he fakes the quick screen, goes over the top. Beautiful coverage by Scola. He didn't bite, and then you have Enright staying home. Perfect position, makes a very athletic interception. Menlo's going to have the football at the 20-yard line. Well, that might have been the game changer there. Terranova was marching down the field. Their offense was clicking for the first time in several quarters. Thought they put some points on the board, but Menlo with an interception in the end zone. And now with 4:26 left, the Menlo offense, as they come in and try to run some clock. Terranova has all 3 timeouts. We'll see if they're going to choose to use them here. Beltran comes in. He's got Geisler in the backfield. Let's expect a dose of some option and Sergio running. There goes Ari Crane in motion. And there goes Beltran again off tackle. There's the option. Geisler drops his head, and he's going to fall forward. That's a first down. So if you watch Menlo, they're motioning over, bringing in that Terranova defender over to the side where there's 3 receivers, and then as Beltran just optioning the end man on the line of scrimmage, 2 against 1, forcing that guy to either tackle the quarterback or the single back. Beltran gives it to Geisler up the middle, and not much there. Knights have not had too much success running between the tackles. Most of their damage done has been Beltran on either QB draws, the option, or these outside sweeps. So here we go, 2nd and 7. Clock is running. We'll see if Terranova is going to choose to use a timeout if they can get a stop here. Menlo trying to move those chains. And there it is, that option. Beltran falls forward to about the 30. That'll be 3rd and 2 yards to go. And there it is. There's that timeout. So for Terranova, this is a huge play. If they get a stop and hopefully force Menlo to kick the ball so that they can get another series on offense. Menlo would love to convert here, get a first down, choose some more clock, and then Terra Nova's would be left with only 2 timeouts. Knights scoring today. They had a touchdown by Enright, a safety, and a touchdown by Ty Richardson. Terra Nova took the lead in the first quarter, scored the first touchdown in the game. Since then, Menlo, 15 unanswered points, and the defense has been stifling. So here we go. Huge play coming up. Menlo faced with a third and about 2 yards to go. 3 minutes, 23 seconds left in the football game. Menlo offensive line has done an outstanding job. Max Kinder, Aiden Hausenbold, Ralston Raphael, Aiden Zhao, Avery Romaine. They're playing on both sides of the football, playing really good. Here we go, Enright in motion, and they're going right up the middle behind Enright. That's a first down and more. Look at Sergio Beltran. Outstanding. And that might do it. So Sergio Beltran is be interesting to see his stats for the game, but he's going to be well over 100 yards rushing. And so the clock is running. We're going to be under 3 minutes. Menlo going to chew up as much clock as they can. In high school, you get 40 seconds in between plays. And now the quarterback should be looking at the far receiver. Now with that hand up, that means he's counting down the last 10 seconds. So they're going to use as much clock. There's the option. Little shake by Beltran. Geisler trying to get outside. And he goes down inbounds. Very smart move by Jack Geisler to keep the clock running. And so 2nd and 8 with the clock running. Now Terra Nova is, if they can get a stop here, they're going to use their timeout. Menlo might just need 1 first down, and that might end this football game. Court Halsey checking back into the game. Menlo taking their time. 3 receivers to the right. Bonatau to the left. Jack Geisler in the backfield. Sergio Beltran scanning the defense. There it is. Looks like a read option. Beltran's going to keep it. He gets outside, cuts back inside, and he's going to be tackled for gain of 5, and there's the timeout. So we're looking at a third and about 3 yards to go for the Menlo Knights. 1 minute, 55 seconds left. Terra Nova has 1 timeout. So basically it comes down to this. If Menlo can get themselves a first down, they can run out the clock. Terra Nova is going to need to get a stop here, and then they need a lot of things to happen. A score, somehow get the ball back, and then another score. But we've seen crazier things. Regardless, this has been an outstanding football game. Outstanding effort by both kids on both teams. A lot of these guys going both ways. They are going to be gassed at the end of this one. Menlo, who's really the offense has been turning heads the first 3 weeks. Today it's been their defense. So here we go. Big play, 3rd and about 4 now. Beltran with 3 receivers to his right. He's going to pull it back, keeps it, cuts up the middle, and he's going to look at Sergio Beltran, drop his head, keep those legs going for the first down, and that's probably going to do it. So that's going to be a first down for Menlo. Terra Nova can only stop the clock 1 time with 1 timeout left. And the clock as the clock starts winding, Menlo could theoretically take a knee here. Let this clock go down to about 1:10. They'll keep it on the ground. Geisler getting outside, cuts down low, tackled, and the clock as counting down 1:20. That'll be 2nd and 8. Both Menlo and Terra are going to be on bye next week as they prepare for league play. Menlo in the Ocean League, Terra is in the Bay. Menlo will kick off their Ocean League at home against Jefferson. Terra last week beat Jefferson decidedly. Here we go. Menlo is taking a knee, victory formation, but Terra is going to call a timeout. So now with 46 seconds left, 3rd down, Menlo will have to run 2 plays. And Terra is just going to have to try to get a stop and see what they can do with what would be less than 10 seconds left in this football game. So it's been another outstanding effort by Sergio Beltran. He's been doing it with his arm all season. Today he did it with his legs. And a really good job by that offensive line opening up holes all day. The kids up front, it's a young group. A bunch of underclassmen at the offensive line and the defensive line. They've been the difference. So there it is, Beltran taking a knee. And clock running with 40 seconds and counting. And this will be 4th down. The Knights will have to run a play. Now what happens is on a change, 4th down, so on a change of possession, the clock will stop. But what that means is Terra will have about 4 seconds to go. And there's really not much that they're going to be able to do down 9 points with the football. So a hard-fought battle by Terra and Menlo. A really good football team. Who knows, these two teams might even face off later in the season. And so Beltran under center. The Knights with the delay of game call. So on 4th down, Beltran will take a knee. The clock will stop. Terra will have one last play. And the Knights coming off the field in a celebratory mood. They are congratulating themselves. This game is not over. There are 7 seconds left. The Knights defense has to get on the field. Check that. It's the offense on 4th and 15 with 7 seconds. So what do? If you just want to kill clock, you can drop back and throw the ball as high as you can and end the game. You can pooch kick it. Let's see, so Beltran's out of shotgun. And there it is. He's going to roll, just kind of kill some clock. And goes down on the knee. And that'll do it. And you hate seeing that after the game. And so there's a late hit, a little extracurricular activity. They're going to have to separate these guys. And so Menlo and Terra, it was a hard-fought, emotional football game. We see some guys getting emotional at the end of the game. But the Knights will come out of this and go to 4-0, and Terra will go to 3-1. Both teams start league play next week. So Menlo, Terra with a hard-fought battle, emotional battle. Both teams played really well. So that'll do it today from Cartan Field. Final score, Menlo 15, Terra 6.